Hello everyone and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. It's December, which can only mean one thing. It's time for a mini marathon of new reviews from my favorite ramen manufacturer, Marutai. We're kicking off this Marutai marathon with their Yatai Tonkotsu Ramen. Before we get started, please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy these reviews. It really helps the channel grow. So yeah, for those of you who are new to the channel, this is now the 3rd December of this channel's existence. And the very first December, I reviewed all of Marutai's local series products as a kind of a Christmas countdown. And so I thought, let's make this an annual tradition as long as I can keep finding new varieties. So I did it again last year with the flavors I was able to get my hands on at the time. And I've got some more for this holiday season too, starting with this one. And for you new visitors who might not be familiar with Marutai, it is a great premium brand from Japan that is relatively cheap and pretty easy to find to order outside of Japan. So if you have a loved one who adores Japanese ramen, a few packs of their noodles makes for a great holiday gift. Now this tonkotsu variety is a new product for me, but it is not part of Marutai's lineup of regional variations on tonkotsu like we've seen before. This is a somewhat more generic tonkotsu recipe made with pork, chicken, and vegetable extract. And you may not be familiar with the term yatai in this instance. I had to look it up myself. Yatai is the word for a food stall or cart in Japan that typically sells ramen. So this product is intended to be, in Marutai's translated words, a rich, full-bodied pork bone flavor typical of Hakata food stalls. I don't know exactly what makes them unique, but full-bodied Hakata tonkotsu sounds great to me. This is manufactured for sale in Japan, so if you want to buy it elsewhere, check out your favorite Japanese import websites or Asian markets. Oddly enough, I found this flavor and the next one I'll be reviewing on Amazon in a multi-pack with a couple other varieties for $15. And you may think, well, that's a lot, $5 for a pack of ramen. Many of Marutai's products, including this one, have 2 separate servings in them. So that price for a single pack reflects 2 meals. All right, let's get into the ingredients here. The salt equivalent for this pack is 4 grams. That's about 1,575 milligrams of sodium altogether. Not too terrible for a Japanese import. All right, so inside we've got those 2 servings of pretty thin Hakata-style wheat noodles, and we've got a soup powder and a seasoning oil. Now in the ingredients for these, we've got things like pork and chicken extract, vegetable powder, soy sauce, green onion, and assorted spices that are not individually listed on the packaging. Fairly typical tonkotsu ingredients. One more interesting thing that I don't think I've ever seen before on a Marutai product is that there are instructions on the back to make this as a stir fry if you so choose. Now I'm going to prepare this as a soup since that is the clear intent of this product. But that is a pretty cool option if you want to try this in a brothless form. Anyway, these noodles are ultra thin. They only need 2 minutes to boil, so let me go take care of that and I will be right back. Okay, the noodles are done, and this is the part where we stir in the soup powder and the seasoning oil. And yes, the instructions tell you to use the water that you boiled the noodles in. I had an edgelord a couple years ago call me a piece of shit because I was supposed to drain the noodles and use fresh water, and no, none of that is in the instructions. I follow the instructions to the letter. If you need to drain the water out of here and use fresh water, be my guest. But this is what the package says to do, and that's what we're following. Just give this a quick stir before I add in the seasoning oil. Already you can see what a nice creamy consistency that has created here. I'm not surprised, Marutai's tonkotsu flavors are always top-notch. And we've got some little flakes of green onion in here. That's great. Okay, time for the seasoning oil. And the seasoning oil smells like it is mostly sesame oil and maybe some sort of additional fat in there to give this an interesting texture. Yeah, I just had a little lick of the oil off my finger. Mainly sesame oil, maybe a little bit of onion in there. All right, looks like this is ready. From an aroma perspective, I'm getting A little bit of soy, nuttiness from the sesame oil, and of course pork broth. Smells great. Let's go for it. All right, this is exactly what the doctor ordered for a cold day. Starting with the noodle score, I don't think I've ever given Marutai noodles anything other than a 10, and that's the case here. Excellent noodles, thin, great chew. They have an air-dried texture, a nice weedy finish. They're just spectacular. They are not exactly restaurant quality, but for an instant ramen, they are practically unbeatable. So 10 out of 10 score for the noodles. The spiciness score for this is a 0. There's nothing spicy hiding in here, with one minor caveat. Let me talk about that now because it factors into the overall flavor of this. This is a terrific, creamy, mild tonkotsu broth. It's got a great consistency to it. It is nice and savory, a good amount of pork, a light touch of soy sauce, some extra depth and consistency from the sesame oil. And the thing that I was most surprised about is I'm tasting a little bit of white pepper in here. And I think that's great. I think that gives this a little bit of extra flavor that I wasn't expecting out of this tonkotsu, but I'm really happy it's here. So it's so mild. That's why I'm keeping the spiciness score at a 0. But like if you really hate white pepper or think it comes across spicy, this might give you a little bit of hesitation. The little green onion bits, there's not a whole lot of them. They rehydrated perfectly fine, but there's nothing super special about them. Other Marutai products have offered more in the dried toppings department, but the fact that it's here is still greatly appreciated. I guess the only complaint is when I compare it to its other tonkotsu brethren from Marutai. It doesn't really stand out in any significant way, but that doesn't mean this is any kind of slouch. It's satisfying, and it's got a terrific flavor to it. So I think an appropriate score for this is a 9 out of 10. Really good stuff. Not that I'm surprised. All right, great way to kick off this marathon. This is a competently executed tonkotsu. It's absolutely delicious. It may not be as flashy as some of the other varieties that Marutai has out there, but if you see this somewhere and you're craving tonkotsu, your money will be well spent on this. So that's it for now. I'm going to go dress this up for my lunch. If you give this a try, please let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know how it compares to any other tonkotsu varieties you may have had in the past. And I'm going to shut up now because I need to go devour this. So as part of this Marutai marathon, I've got another variety coming up in the next episode. Please tune in for that. Hopefully I'll see you here again on Noodle Journey.